Tampa, Florida. Paige Bueckers came to UConn with a singular goal: to win a national championship. On Friday night, she and her teammates moved one step closer to achieving that dream with a commanding 85-51 victory over UCLA in the Final Four. The win propels the number 2 Huskies into the national championship game, where they will face off against top-seeded South Carolina on Sunday. In a lopsided contest, UConn delivered an impeccable performance, dominating UCLA from the opening tip. The Huskies entered halftime with a 20-point lead, and it was clear from the start that UCLA had no answers for UConn's relentless attack. UConn head coach Geno Auriemma, though pleased with the result, admitted the ease of the win was unexpected. "Going into these games, you always expect them to be incredibly difficult," Auriemma said. "Not that it wasn't, because our players worked incredibly hard, but I don't think we made a mistake all night. Especially on the defensive end. I'm so proud of how they played and humbled by their performance tonight." Freshman forward Sarah Strong, who has become a standout for UConn in the postseason, was particularly impressive, scoring 22 points on 9 of 13 shooting. She also contributed 8 rebounds and was a force from beyond the arc, draining 4 of 6 three-pointers. In a moment that perfectly encapsulated UConn's dominance, Strong and Bueckers exchanged an exuberant chest bump midway through the fourth quarter after Strong converted an and one that pushed the Huskies' lead to 25 points. At that moment, it was clear the game was effectively over. Graduate guard Azzi Fudd, who had a quiet performance in UConn's Elite Eight victory over USC, bounced back with 19 points, all of which came in the first half. She shot 7 of 12 from the field, providing the offensive spark the Huskies needed. Bueckers, who has been UConn's floor general all season, added 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. One of her most memorable plays came late in the first half, when she made a brilliant touch pass in transition to Caitlin Chen, further energizing the UConn crowd. Defensively, UConn was equally dominant. Freshman center Jana El-Alfi made her mark with 7 defensive rebounds and a game-high 4 steals. Bueckers described El-Alfi's performance as a tone setter for the night, setting the stage for UConn's suffocating defense that forced 19 turnovers from UCLA. Despite the loss, UCLA's 6'7" center Lauren Betts was a bright spot for the Bruins, finishing with 26 points on 11 of 18 shooting. However, she was left to shoulder much of the scoring load on her own, as her teammates struggled to contribute. UCLA shot just 25% from three-point range, a drastic drop from their 41.7% mark in their Elite Eight victory over LSU. Midway through the third quarter, the Bruins were shooting a dismal 14% from the field, which underscored their inability to recover from UConn's defensive pressure. UCLA head coach Corey Close acknowledged the disparity between the two teams. "Credit to UConn," she said. "They were the aggressors. They played with more purpose, more connection, and they were tough for us tonight. They handed it to us." With the win, UConn now shifts its focus to a highly anticipated matchup with South Carolina, which earlier in the evening defeated Texas 74-57. The Gamecocks, led by head coach Dawn Staley, are aiming for their 3rd national title in the last 4 years and their 2nd consecutive championship. South Carolina's quest to repeat would make them the first team since UConn's 2015 and 2016 squads to win back-to-back titles. UConn, on the other hand, is hoping to secure its 12th national championship under Auriemma, the first since 2016. For Bueckers, who has faced numerous injuries during her college career, this is her final opportunity to fulfill her championship dream. After missing most of her sophomore year due to injuries and sitting out her junior season with a torn ACL, Bueckers is determined to make her last game count. Having already declared for the WNBA draft earlier this season, Bueckers is keenly aware that this may be her final college game. "We prayed, we prepared, and we hope to be playing on the last day of the season," Bueckers reflected. "We've got that opportunity, so we're not going to take it for granted. We don't want to get caught up in the moment, but it's pretty crazy that it's all coming to an end. But I'm glad it's ending on the last day." The two teams last met earlier this season in South Carolina, where UConn stunned the Gamecocks with an 87-58 win, snapping their 71-game home winning streak and handing them their most significant loss of the season. This win has set the stage for what promises to be an epic showdown between the two powerhouses of women's college basketball. "We're two of the most prominent programs right now in women's college basketball, and we both deserve to be here," Auriemma said. Sunday's national championship game between UConn and South Carolina is scheduled to tip off at 3 p.m. Eastern Time at Amalie Arena. It promises to be a battle of titans, with both teams eager to add another trophy to their respective collections.